All right, how are we twosing, everybody? So this is a live demo of new twos, twosApp.com, writethingsdown.com, just a general, high level, super exciting, high energy run through of everything you need to know in order to get the most out of twos. The app that I've literally dedicated my entire life to, that we are rebuilding from scratch, that we have so much passion and enthusiasm for, and we know that there are a lot of people out there who understand the general premise with twos, but don't really understand its unique value or its power features or its simple features, how it fits into their tech stack. The goal with these live demos is to absolve all of those questions, all of those concerns, interact with the community, show you what we got underneath the hood, answer any questions, and just have a good time. So this will be the first time that I am running live demos by myself. So first, can I get a twos in the chat if everybody can hear and see me okay? Just throw up a peace emoji, a twos emoji in the chat if you can hear and see me okay. I'm gonna go look for those. All right. Let's go, guys. That makes me super happy. Okay. Everyone can hear and see me good. That makes me thrilled. So let's go ahead and start with our little agenda here. Hi, my name is Twos Joe, founder of twosApp.com, and you guys have no idea how proud I am to be able to say that. To tell a little bit of a backstory, just because I feel like it is amazingly interesting, and if this is the first time that you're finding out about twos or the first time you're hearing this story, Parker and I met at a startup in Austin, Texas called Trustwork, and he was the 4th hired developer. I was the 90th hired biz dev person. So what is biz dev? Everything that doesn't have to do with writing code, pretty much. I was the loud and obnoxious one. He was the quiet and focused one. So obviously I naturally gravitated towards him until he became one of my friends. As that friendship grew, he told me more about twos. As he was telling me more about twos, my relationship with writing things down was expanding in notebooks, just writing things down whenever they popped in my mind, and just effectively having peace of mind because I was quickly capturing these things that I wanted to remember. And that's when Parker told me about his vision for twos, which was to build the best place to write things down. So it was in that moment that it felt like a perfect mix of something that I knew was extremely valuable, something that he was focused and excited about, for us to come together and begin working on twos together. We moved to Tampa into the same apartment, and just continued working on twos as we still are to this day. So today, on this live demo, we will be walking through twos. We will be talking about new twos. We will be talking about all of the features that you may or may not know of in order to be a power user, someone who gets the most out of this app. But generally speaking, it is just going to be a free-flowing experience of whatever you guys want, whatever you need. I'm going to stick to my agenda and do my best not to pause to check the chat or read any questions. So hold those for the end. Hold your general questions, comments, concerns. Obviously interact with other people in the chat. Get excited. Get me excited. Let's go. But I will answer some questions throughout, but save the most important ones for the end. And let's talk a little bit more about twos. So in order to start our demo today, my excitement is, so we've got obviously this. What happens if I do that? Okay. So we're looking at my screen now, and where I want to start us is our brand new landing page for new twos, in case you guys haven't gotten a chance to see it. This is now live at writethingsdown.com. Now, obviously, a lot of you have seen this because a lot of you have signed up for the live demo through this. But why am I showing this? Why is Twos Joe showing this again? I'll tell you. I am showing you guys this because while I say that Twos and our intention is to build the best place to write things down, my goal is to actually come up with the best benefit statement that makes sense as to why Twos exists in a motley of different productivity apps, notes apps, reminders apps, task managers, second brains. What the hell is Twos doing if all of those other things already exist? And I point us to the header of this website. Twos is built for you to get things off your mind. Now, whether or not getting those things off of your mind immediately gives you your day back, but that's just the general ethos at Twos. We prioritize speed, ease, all in one. So our goal is to give you the quickest and easiest place to write things down, no matter what those things are. Notes, reminders, events, to-dos, thoughts, ideas, diary, journal, names, car VIN number, blood type, candle scent, how I'm feeling, girlfriend's flowers name. You get the point. There are so many things that we need to write down because we have over 6,200 thoughts per day, which is a research study by Queen's University. We forget 67% of things that we think of every day, and we waste a whole lot of time spreading our life between 5 different apps to write these things down, to organize our lives, just to do our best to keep up. So what's new about Twos? Twos used to be a white, blank, basic, speedy app. Good news, a lot of that is staying. What also we're trying to incorporate is the new capture view, new remember view. We're finally updating Android. I'm sure there will be plenty of questions about that. Adding new customizations, gamifications. We have an updated widget, updated share extension, updated Ramble AI feature, and so much more, all that we will see on this video. So that is, for the most part, all I think we need to talk about in terms of general ethos. And most importantly, I want to call everyone's attention to this word here on the landing page, things. Things are a unique and individual property of Twos that makes it so unique. It's kind of like a sentence, kind of like a bullet point. Things are individual pieces of information that you can write down, and the reason that Twos is built on things is because you can turn things into to-dos, you can star things, you can add reminders to things. By breaking up information into these individual pieces, they actually become that much more flexible and that much more powerful. The ultimate goal of Twos is for you to remember more, forget less, and have more peace of mind. Twos. All right, so who wants to get straight into our demo? Woohoo! New Twos. Let's go ahead and throw another transition up on the board. Let's close this screen. Let's pull my iPhone mirroring back over. Oh, wow, do I have to reposition it? Great. Let's call that repositioned right there. All right, so for our new Twos demo, I'm going to be screen mirroring from my computer so that you guys can see what I'm clicking on. There will be some interactions that are, obvious and perfect and great. There'll be other interactions that are terrible, awful, and horrible. Before I get into that, let me check the chat one more time. Can everyone still hear, see, breathe me well? Let's see some twos in the chat if you guys can hear and see me, because I think there it is, found it. Twos in the chat, and let's see if we're all still good. Steven says we're good. I see a twos. I think that means that I am good to keep on a kicking. All right, guys, thank you so much for letting me know that it's all working. So one thing that I want to call some distinct attention to is that where you put twos on your phone is critical to your overall understanding, usage, and benefit of the application. Twos is literally built, literally intended for you to write things down as soon as you think of them so that you won't forget later on. Now, where our job comes into play is to make sure that those things are resurfaced for you at the appropriate time. But without quick capture, without the ability to quickly write things down that pop up, then you aren't going to be able to get the most out of twos, which is why not only you'll notice that I have twos in my bottom bar, but I also have different widgets. Ding, 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 ding. I need like a new feature alert. In old twos, you weren't able to stack widgets. You weren't able to have two separate twos widgets on your home screen. Now you can. So as many widgets as you want. Let's see if I can actually add a third one for fun here. Yeah. Any Clash Royale fans in the chat? So you hopefully are able to follow what I'm doing here. I press and held an app, any app. I then select to edit my home screen. There's a little plus button in the top left. You search for twos, and then you can add these things, any sized widget, to your home screen. Then to edit that widget, you'll notice reminders, you'll notice quick actions here. To edit that widget, you click it while you're editing, and you can actually go in and you can change what type of content you want to see from that widget. There we go. So let's go ahead and update this to to-dos. Close it up, it'll pour over, and now we have widgets. Now the cool part, especially about the new twos widgets, is that you are able to actually interact with your things from within the app or from within the widget. So as you check things off, they will go away, and it just gives you a great overview. So again, the reason that I continued to talk about it before I've even gotten into twos, where you put twos, how you access twos is critical. We will continue to set up Siri integrations. We will continue to set up lock screen widgets. We will continue to make widget improvements so that they look prettier, so that they make more sense. But that is something very new about twos. New widgets, ability to stack widgets, woo-hoo. Let's see some twos in the chat if that all sounds good and you guys are ready to start diving into twos. I paid Nino, by the way. I paid Nino. I always pay Nino. Nino is the GOAT. And you should pay Nino too. Everyone should pay Nino because he's the best. Great. Twos in the chat, twos in the chat, twos in the chat. Widgets, widgets, widgets. We love it, we love it, we love it. Okay, let's continue on and talk about some of those core features. So you guys may have heard me say just earlier ago that we prioritize speed, ease, all in one. Well, Twos Joe, what the hell does that mean? Let me show you. First, we open our twosApp.com. Then we notice that we are on our brand new capture screen. Now, had I started from a brand new experience, had I, hard closed the application before having opened it, you would have been dumped right on this capture screen. But, because I was in the middle of a search, the whole idea is that as soon as you open twos, this is going to be the first thing you see. First and foremost, everybody say, "Oh, wow, so pretty," because this is our new default capture screen wallpaper. So we're actually going to be doing a contest pretty soon here for you guys to submit suggestions for capture view wallpapers. Whatever wallpaper you guys would like to see as a part of the onboarding process, to come into twos, see a little prompt, see a new capture screen wallpaper, and then here's the beauty of twos. I just simply start writing things down. And now, instead of enter being new thing, we hit this little up button. It goes on to our capture view. And this is how I remember things faster than ever. Because I just quickly write things down on my capture view as soon as I think of them. Let me think of one distinct example. You are hanging out with a friend, and the friend says, hey, have you heard of that new restaurant in Valencia, Begin Secret Garden? You know what, friend? I have not heard of that new restaurant, but I probably should go to it. When you write things down, then they will appear on your capture view until you navigate to your day or move things to a different list. We'll talk about that in just a second. Let's use one more distinct example just to make sure that we're really anchoring in on quick capture from the capture view so that you can remember things quickly. Your wife says, hey honey, we need more paper towels. Oh shit! If we don't get more paper towels, I mean, how are we gonna clean up all the baby poop? That's what families do with paper towels, right? So you may have noticed I clicked this little button, this little quick action here right in the write things down bar to change my thing into a to-do, and I write down paper towels, right? And I keep hitting enter because that's obviously the natural thing that I want to do on a keyboard, but on your phone, the up arrow is gonna make a whole lot more sense. So then you have two options. You can either move these things onto your day by simply swiping up, or, well, okay, so once you swipe up onto your day, that is when you have now moved your things onto the day. So let's actually just go ahead and take a look at that. Close my reminders, close my completed things, and now we're looking at the day. The day is one exclusive day in time, right? So today is November the 5th, 2025. There will only ever be one November 5th, 2025 for the rest of our lives, which then allows you to quickly write things down like the text that you sent to your co-founder for his birthday, or those 4 things that we just wrote down as an example of our friend telling us about the restaurant, or the paper towels that we need to buy for the baby poop. Your day is where you're going to see all of the things that you set reminders on. Your day is where you're going to put in sublists and hyperlinks that don't necessarily belong on a list. But when things do belong on a list, let's just go ahead and hit this blue moving truck and take it to our Spanish grocery list, for example. You can actually click on the toast. You can open your entire list. We will see that it moved from my day onto my list. You can then format it, change it to a dash again, and guess what? You can collaborate on this list with your wife so that she knows you picked up the paper towels and there will be no more baby poop on the floor. That is an example of quick capture on your day. Now, that interaction was me swiping to complete paper towels, which I can actually show you if I go a little bit slower. When you swipe to the left, or I guess to the right, you will complete your things. When you swipe to the right, you will select them. Left, complete, right, select. So very similar to what I'm doing here by selecting these things. I can also select them by swiping them to the left, or I can complete them by swiping to the right. And you may notice my confetti is new and customizable, and we will talk about that soon as well. Now, let's go back to today by just clicking the back button. Doesn't that make so much sense? I have one more thing to say, then I'm gonna go over into the chat and see if you guys have any questions, comments, thoughts, concerns, needs, bleh. You may or may not have noticed this diamond. The purple diamonds appear when smart suggestions are available. A smart suggestion is quite literally, do we understand the context of the thing that is being written down? Can we help said person move into the next stage. So Secret Garden Valencia, funny enough, is actually, it's picking it up as a location because it thinks that I'm talking about a secret garden. But in reality, the place is called Begin Secret Garden Valencia Restaurant. So in the event that your smart suggestion does not work exactly how you were hoping it should, then you can actually change the text of your thing so that then the smart suggestion changes, because that will actually go back through yet another smart suggestion query every time you change the text. Another funny thing that I want to point out, because the restaurant name is Begin, Twos thinks that I want to turn this thing into a to-do because it thinks that I want to begin Secret Garden Valencia almost as if that was like a TV show. So sometimes if we recognize that you're doing a to-do, we'll help you open up to-dos. If we recognize it's a restaurant, we'll help you open table. And then last thing that I want to show you guys here, obviously, is that because we have smart suggestions, we have the ability to write these things down and then take action upon them. That is exactly what smart suggestions are intended to do. And again, not to overwhelm, let's get back to the core value here. I write these things down because I want to remember them for the rest of my life. And then we're just trying to make it as easy for you as possible to do that later on. Also, if you live anywhere near, around, or by Valencia, I cannot recommend that restaurant. Best restaurant I have ever eaten at. That is a fact. Okay, quick pause time to hear any questions that you guys have about the capture view, the day, move, PAL smart suggestions, or if you want me to just shut up. So let me go ahead and go back to my face now and see if we have any questions in the chat. If not, we will continue pushing on with making a quick list, showing the new remember view, and showing the new customizations. That is what we were going to save for the day. Any questions, any comments? Updates for Android, I'll save that for the end. Default thing type in new twos, fantastic question. I will take a look and see if that is available. Thank you very much from, shout out South Africa, we love South Africa. Let's see if we can change default thing type before I turn it back on. Not yet. Not yet. Whoa. Cool. Yeah, this is good. We're good. We're just taking a deep breath. Everyone like taking deep breaths? Let's take a deep breath. Okay. It seems like we've gotten a good job of getting our questions out. So let's go ahead and continue on into lists. So you guys saw me move things onto pre-existing lists, but now let's pretend like we are making a brand new list for the first time. Christian, to answer your question immediately, we do not yet have a setting for change your thing type. We only have return key for creating new thing. This is a little buggy, so obviously these are the kinds of things we're trying to figure out before we change them, but no default thing type just yet. I know that that is a very valuable feature, and so I will make sure to write that down for later. Creating a new list is easy in new twos. This is a new list. And now I have the ability to tap anywhere to write things down on this list. Now, when does a list become valuable? When you have a collection of things that you've written down, whether it be Valencia restaurant recommendations, whether it be things you need to do, whether it be movies you want to watch, you should create a list so that you can quickly remember the things on that list in a collective list. For example, let me show you guys one of my favorite lists. My favorite quotes list is a collection of things that I've written down from all the way back starting in 2020. So it has been almost a year and a half, 5.5 years since I started this list. But now you'll notice that if I scroll, I have all of these things that I've written down from my favorite quotes that I want to remember. And it's just a phenomenal place to write things down so that you can remember them later on. That's lists. Any questions about lists? I'm going to assume no. Collaborate on lists, bookmark lists, share lists, use AI on lists. Pick a random quote for me. Success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. Love it. So that's how you use AI. Try another prompt. How many quotes are on this list? 102 quotes over the course of my quotating life. So that's lists. What else, guys? I'm sure we want to talk about the new Remember view. You guys ready to go into the new Remember view? Anybody ready to go into the new Remember view? If I press here, I'll go back to Capture View. And once I'm on Capture View, I can go over to Remember View, which I technically can do at any point. So your Remember View, brand new view designed to help you remember things. These were those moments of delight that I wanted to tell you guys about. Our job as twos is to bring things back in front of you so that you can remember them easily once you've written them down. You have the ability to navigate to a different day from your Remember View. You have the ability to navigate to see your memories. You have the ability to do a chat prompt like upcoming birthdays, all from your Remember View. And this might still be broken, so apologies. I thought it was working earlier, but adding reminders to your Remember View, adding a memory of the day to your Remember View, adding recent lists to your Remember View, to-dos, stars, and then also edit. To edit your Remember View, you literally just move things into it. So like, for example, this is a new list. And I'm going to just move that up to the top of my Remember View. And I'm going to click Save. And now I have my widgets all reorganized and the ability to open This is a New List directly from my Remember View. Beautiful new view. Shout out Nino for the design. Shout out Baller for the integration of it. But this is the new Remember View. I'll pause there. I'm going to pause. I'm going to check the chat. Any chats? Let's see some chats. Are relative dates still not included? What about templates in today? Let's go ahead and start there. Relative dates. So if you're talking about natural detection of reminders, tell Baller I love him tomorrow. Twos is now running a smart suggestion on this thing to recognize that I should bring up a purple diamond. When I click the purple diamond, then I see add a reminder for tomorrow. Relative date. I now add that reminder. I click done. The reminder is created for tomorrow for me to tell Baller that I love him. Everybody should set the exact same reminder. Now, if I go back to my today, visit tomorrow, tell Baller I love him. There's a chance that we will make it so that you can strip this text, but that is relative dates, if I'm not mistaken, in 2zep.com. Templates in today, not yet. So I think now would be an awesome time, and I do want to end shortly here because you guys all committed to 30 minutes, and that's what I want to offer you. Templates in today, just not a huge priority for us because our core vision, the thing that we're trying to build beyond any shadow of a doubt, is the ability to quickly write things down so that you can remember them later. We're not trying to build a second brain app. We're not trying to build a Notion competitor. We're not trying to build sticky notes on your phone. We are essentially just trying to become the premier and only destination for you to write things down that you want to remember quickly. Now, the reminders element of it, the to-dos element, the chat element, these are all just ways that we want to get you to trust and use twos more for that purpose. Collections are a great idea. Is that functionality new? I'm not sure. Lists aren't new. No. Can we archive lists? No, not yet. Is there an MCP like Smithery to easily integrate to twos? No. Custom prompts in AI? Yes. You already have custom prompts, by the way. Remember looking beautiful. How are home and calendar views coming along? So this is going to be our new home, Christian. Home is literally just the remember view, the ability to add widgets to your remember view. It serves almost the exact same function, just with a few widgets that are no longer available. And so this is going to be the new home. As far as the new calendar view, we have not yet reinstituted it. You guys will notice that the new side menu is merely days, lists, things. And so these are where you're going to see all of your days. These are where you're going to see all of your lists. And this is where you're going to see all of your things. So we're trying to limit the amount of navigation. We're trying to reduce the amount of questions when it comes to writing things down in twos. That's why we're trying to make it simple. That's why we're trying to make it direct. That's why we're trying to make it straightforward. Custom prompts for AI in V4. If I'm not mistaken, once again, let's go ahead and take a look. So if I go back to my day, if I go into the three dots, which are the list actions, I may have upset my computer by working a little bit too fast. I did. So let me go to a recent list. Let's go to, this is a new list, and let's go to use AI, and let's, okay, I'm trying to remember, there was, yeah, maybe we haven't yet added the ability to, so like, pick a random thing. Yeah, so we used to have the ability to save that custom AI prompt. We don't have that yet, but that probably will be something that we add. Cool. All right. So like I said, guys, I think that I want to go ahead and get off of this stream soon. Now would be your best, last, most opportune time to ask any additional questions that you are dying to know. We've talked about things, we've talked about lists, we've talked about days, we've talked about our ethos, we've talked about our mission. And as far as new and upcoming, we're going to continue to design features. We're going to continue to iron things out. I don't know if you guys are as excited as I am with how well this has worked so far. But obviously it's worked really, really well. And so, yeah, we're just going to continue to try and improve to be the best place for people to capture, remember, and share their lives on a system of days, lists, and things. That is our vision. That is our North Star. That is what we are trying to accomplish. And we will only continue to iterate until we feel certain that that is there. Let's quickly talk about the new customizations and store and things. So wallpaper store, the ability to change your wallpaper. Confetti store, the ability to change your confetti. If I change to orange glitter, for example, now I have orange glitter, woohoo! I can go back to my today, I can check something off, and I get orange glitter. So more confetti options coming soon, more wallpapers coming soon. We also have instituted new notifications, which we're excited for you guys to get a play with. I haven't gotten any of mine today, so there's a chance that it is not yet working, but you get the idea. A morning review, a midday nudge, an evening wrap with the ability to turn all of these widgets off And the whole idea is just to remind you to open twos and to write things down if you feel like it would be valuable to you. All right, right before I kick over into the chat, one last time, so Q&A. I'm gonna do the Q&A. I'm gonna go through all of your questions one last time in about 4 minutes here. I'm sorry, in about 10 seconds here. So if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat now. And right before I do that, I wanna talk a little bit more about beta. I'm sure you guys are very excited to have access to this. I'm excited to give you access. The only reason that you do not yet have access, whether you're an OT, whether you've sent me an email, whether you've threatened my family, whether you have tweeted about it, if you've referred people, the only reason is because our first 50 invites have already gone out, and we are waiting to adjust this version of twos until the next 50. So that we can learn, so that we can improve, so that we can make sure that there is a significant difference. We're not trying to do a slow draw. We need you guys to use this app. We need you to rely on the app. We need you to want to use the app. And so therefore, we internally need to make changes until we feel 100% certain that it is ready for more people. So that is what you're waiting on in terms of beta. In terms of Android, we must complete the iOS beta before we can focus on Android. Okay. So yeah, that should hopefully answer any questions about beta and Android as well. I'm gonna kick it over on to chat one last time for any of those final questions, guys, and then let's get out of here. Okay, here we go. So we will not have a calendar view at all in the new twos, or it will be there like normal. In my mind, the calendar view is going to get a little bit of a refresh where it looks more like a Google Calendar, where you have the ability to see a 30-day view, a 4-day view, or today, I guess, with time blocking, theoretically, is what I would prefer out of the calendar view. Now, it's both a hard question to answer and not all of that hard. We don't want to add views and features that don't really serve this like massive purpose. Currently, you can look at a calendar view within twos if you go to your day and then you just click right here. I'm looking at a calendar. So this is telling me all the days of the month and when they fall. But as far as like seeing your things on that calendar view, again, these are the kinds of things we're ironing out. But the one thing I can tell you for certain, we're not just adding views and features because a couple of people said that they wanted it. It needs to be functional. It needs to make sense. It needs to be a part of our vision or mission. So at least for now, that is how you can see your calendar view. Android, awesome session. Android, OTs. Scott, we do have an awesome plan for OTs. We are changing our store, we're changing our monetization, we're changing our gamification, and all OTs will be granted either all of the premium features and or enough twos coins to unlock whatever it is that they want. So OTs are still gonna be recognized. They're gonna have a special banner in my mind, because again, all of these things need to be implemented before I can tell you for 100% certain. But OTs will be recognized. They will be given all of the same benefits that they've had before, but we also are going to institute a new game within twos that makes it fun, that makes it enjoyable, that makes it exciting. Notifications having a snooze option, not yet, but they will, hopefully. Is the to-dos view coming back? The to-dos view is within the things view. Let me open up my things view real quick and just make sure that I didn't say that I'm going to kill anybody there. I didn't. Perfect. So then let me click over into to-dos. Yep, good to go. It's looking like. So let me show you guys the things view. Things view, these things, I don't know why they're at the top. Things view should only show you your most recent things that you've written down so that you can then just see things all from one view without getting distracted. And then your to-dos is just the ability to filter down into your to-dos view from your things view, because a to-do is just a thing that is marked as a to-do. Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, feel free to follow up with another question. Oh, Steven, yes, I did a whole thing on relative dates. Yes. I would say hopefully earlier than summer 2026. So I wouldn't, we don't do ETAs, we don't do estimates, but as soon as possible, hopefully before summer 2026. I feel pretty confident that we're getting pretty close to a production app on iOS. And then once production app on iOS is done, that is when we focus on the other platforms. No desktop update yet. Thank you guys all so much for being OTs. And last but not least, just because somebody asked, merch, yeah. We need new merch, I will say, but for the time being, you can check out all of our merch at twosapp.shop. So all of our current merch, and we make $0 on these things. We literally price them as low as we possibly can, just so that we have our provider distributing them for us. twosapp.shop has the t-shirts, the stickers, the mugs, the hats, the sweatshirts, and obviously more things coming soon. It's not a priority of ours because we're trying to build the best place to write things down, but we want you guys to rep the stuff, and we want to come up with new, better ideas. And so, if you have ideas, drop them in the Discord, let us know. But yes, twosapp.shop currently is where you can get all of your merch. All right, guys, that is going to be the end of our stream today. Thank you again so much for tuning in. Feel free to email me in the subject line. Just put Twos demo or live demo, joe@twosapp.com. Anything you want to know about Twos. You want to know about a feature. You want to know about a view. You want to tell me to, lick your foot. I don't know. joe@twosapp.com, put inside of the subject line live demo. And one more thing that I will mention, there will be new and better and unique ways to get access to the beta coming very, very soon. I can't tell you right now that we are unrolling that plan in the immediate, but it will be coming soon. So stay tuned to the Discord, stay tuned to the emails, stay tuned to the live demos and our social media accounts. And obviously, guys, we want to build this together with you. We want to make sure that we're building the most functional and useful app that is physically possible. We wouldn't be able to do it without you. So please do us a favor, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, tell a friend about Twos. The best place to write things down. Life is too short for people to forget things that we could have otherwise remembered and shared with others. So thank you again so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for y'all's support. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your excitement. And until next time, happy Tuesday. Adios.